Hi, good morning. It's Tuesday, August 13th. I'm about 4 miles into segment 4. And to recap yesterday, walking through segment 3, the terrain was mostly kind of rolling and through nice, beautiful forested woods. Passed through some areas that I learned later were part of a prescribed burn. So all of the understory, dead standing wood was gone, burned off, but the other trees were still alive and well. Highlights were, there's so many yesterday. So I met a through hiker named Cheddar and walked with her for part of the day. Met another guy, just Joe, kind of like me, just Bob, since we don't have trail names. Reconnected with Gnarly and Photo Op and Lever right at the trail junction where they were coming back from resupplying in Bailey, and I was gonna hitch into Bailey for groceries. So said goodbye to everybody at that trailhead. And then stuck my thumb out, and I thought from the descriptions people had talked about it was a much busier road, and maybe it is on the weekends, but not much traffic. So a few cars passed me by, and then one pickup pulls over, and it was Tim and his grandson Liam who picked me up. I'm kind of out of breath because I'm ascending. Let's see, we're at about 9,600 feet elevation, so still getting used to that. Anyway, super nice guy. We had a really nice conversation, and he took me into Bailey, which I had forgotten about. Lisa and I used to live in Alamosa in the early and mid 80s and often traveled a highway called 285. And so we passed through Bailey a number of times, but it's just kind of a collection of gas stations and not a whole lot there. So it turns out that resupplying was not a great strategy in that place. So I bought food from the Conoco convenience store for the next 4 to 5 days till I get to Breckenridge. And I hope the food works out okay. Let's see. Yeah, anyways. Only downside thing might have been from yesterday was that I tried calling Lisa and didn't have any luck connecting up. So, sorry, but miss you. And you would love it out here. It's just so gorgeous. And again, I just can't get over how fortunate I am to be out here. So, slept last night in a nice, quiet spot. But there were thunderstorms that came through, and even though they weren't very close, it was pretty scary. So lightning and thunder way up high is going to be an issue. And then in store for today is a lot more climbing mainly. It goes up to 10,000 something today. Okay, we'll see what happens. Thank you. Hiking this segment reminds me a lot of the Adirondacks, except that I can get out of breath just bending over to tie my shoe. Although this terrain is similar to the Adirondacks or White Mountains in the east, it's not nearly the same level of boulders and slippery roots and things. The equivalent here in Colorado would be maybe crossing a talus field or boulder field or something. And so I asked a couple of hikers from the east how they felt about this Colorado trail, which up until now has been really smooth and well graded, and versus the rocky, rooty trails, wet trails in the east. And one said they found that eastern terrain mentally exhausting because you had to concentrate so much on where to put your feet. And the other said that they enjoyed that more because it occupied your mind. So I thought that was interesting that two people had the different perspective on different kinds of terrain. Seeing this fence running along here in the woods reminds me of working out of Alamosa at a company called Summit Engineering, doing surveying out in the woods a lot. And that reminds me of one of my bosses, Martin Reynolds, who died very young. So, thinking about him now. It's 65 degrees, but the breeze, it feels a lot chillier than that. Here's my first open park. Okay, so I'm reconnected with Cheddar and Joe. Say hi. And we got to talking about sleeping in parking lots. So Joe said he has some kind of camper and a pickup. So I'm wondering what kind of vehicles you guys use to sleep in parking lots.
I have a Honda Fit.
Ooh, wow.
You can fold the seats down mostly flat. It's still not great. The last couple times I've just curled up on the back seat. That's actually been more comfortable.
Huh.
Surprisingly.
And then how do you manage food and stuff?
That's my excuse to eat fast food.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how about you, Joe? Oh.
What is your truck setup?
Well, it's a big wooden box in the back of my truck, which is a Toyota Tacoma, and I built a cheese wedge lift on it so I can stand up and
Wow.
have places to move around. And
Yeah.
my mom helped me sew some canvas so it's waterproof. And for food, a little bit of fast food, but I'd also just kind of stop and cook either behind or in the camper. But I didn't have any refrigeration, so it was either cooked day of or canned or something.
And you made it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so with that pop-up part, that's really cool. Nice. Thanks.